All right, guys, my head's spinning a little bit here. So, Nate Diaz, I brought you guys what I believed was inside scoop that he's back in training camp. Told you that about a week ago. Nate came out, posted a picture on social media of him yesterday in the ring sparring, right? Actual sparring gear that he's sparring. He's giving us a message that he's getting ready for something. Okay, Nate is talking to Ariel Helwani right now. I'm getting notes of what this interview is about. And Nate is saying a lot of stuff that we already know. He's saying, I'm asking for a fight. I've never asked for more fights in my life. He then threw some names out that he asked for. Luque was one of them. Tony Ferguson was one of them. I like that. By the way, Nate versus Ferguson, that's special. I mean, there is something on that for me. But you want to know one of the names that wasn't thrown out was Kevin Holland, and that surprised me. When Nate was off doing the sparring and doing the training camp that we heard about, I really thought it might involve Holland. And I also know this rumor of this Chimaev business wouldn't go away. Now, Nate talked about Chimaev. I just am not satisfied that I understood what he was saying well enough to come and regurgitate that for you guys. But he is saying, yes, I've been offered. But there's things that have happened behind the scenes that you haven't been revealed, and there was a whole bunch of excuses. I didn't know how to interpret that. I thought that meant that Nate has also accepted Chimaev, but then something happened on Chimaev's side. But I'm adding to it a little bit. It wasn't completely clear. Now, hold on. Nate dropped what I thought was a bombshell. Ariel kind of took it and moved right on with the interview. I thought this was a bombshell. Nate said, what the UFC wants is for me to fight Conor next. And Nate said, I'm refusing to fight Conor. For one reason, which is the timelines don't match up. I want to get this over and I want to get this done. I want to be free. I don't even know when Conor's going to come back. Surprised me just a little bit. I get the point on Nate trying to expedite things. And I do get the point that we don't know when Conor's going to come back. Like, that's really fair. However, that's such a massive match. I mean, if you're just running the numbers, if this is about money, if this is about something big, boom, hey, I think we just found it. Gonna have to wait a few months to get it, but I think that we just found it. Everybody gets served here. Now, you got to hold that thought. If the UFC does, in fact, want Conor versus Nate, and I've heard that rumor too, but not to this extent, not to the extent of what Nate is saying, where he has been brought in. He has sat down with Sean Shelby and Dana White in the offices of the UFC and told point blank, this is what we want you to do. Because, guys, that's a very fascinating piece, right? 155 pounds is a real mess right now in a positive way. But it is a real mess right now. They don't have a champion, just by example. The guy, Charles Oliveira, who we believe will be fighting for the championship, is trying to go after Conor McGregor. To the point that Islam Makhachev and Michael Chandler are now agreeing to fight for a belt. Because they believe that Oliveira might just get what he wants and go after Conor McGregor. Look, we put Nate in against Conor McGregor. We just changed all of 155. All of a sudden, we got Charles versus Islam, and we don't even have to think again. Now we got to find something for Chandler to do, which could be Poirier, because he, by the way, is also waiting for Conor McGregor. I mean, things would get really interesting. If we could just plug one fight together at 55 and take one of those guys off the board, the rest of the pieces start to come together. By the way, what does Nate know? What does Nate Diaz know that we don't? We have operated and predicated this entire situation with Nate and his desire to exhaust his contract with the UFC around Jake Paul. Why did we do that, guys? I can't remember. I mean, we've been doing it for about 8 or 9 or 10 months. I literally can't remember. Where did that come from? Because Jake and Nate are not like a thing in the media, like, say, Francis and Tyson. They've disclosed to us, they shared with us where they want to go. They had the face. So we got a pretty good idea that we're being given accurate information there. Is something also like that going on with Jake Paul? Because he's signing fights. He got this ramen business coming up. I don't know that the Fury thing's gone away. I want it to. I'm not sure that it's gone away. Nate's talking about Conor McGregor as recently as an hour ago. I apologize. Jake Paul's talking about him as recently as an hour ago. I mean, is there something there with Nate and Jake? Is that what the whole thing's about? Or does Nate have a different plan and we're missing it? Because there is a driving factor. There is a level of motivation. And as much as we all thought it was just an opportunity to do something else, which of course would have to do with the money, guys, if you knew what Nate made, it's hard to replace that anywhere. Very hard. Not to mention a Nate versus Conor, the way Nate's contract is structured, I'm not sure that we've got this right. I'm not sure this is just about money. I'm not sure this is just about boxing, and I'm not sure how Jake Paul plays into the whole thing. So I'm asking you a question. Did I miss something? Have I forgot something? Are we sure that we know what Nate's really up to? Are we sure that we know what Nate's plan actually is? Because he's very sincere. If he's willing to pass up a fight with the biggest star in the industry, something's going on. And I think we've arrogantly assumed that we know what that is. Nate plays his cards very close to the vest. And I'll also notice this includes Ariel today. He's never flat out been asked that. Nobody has straight up asked him, do you believe you're going to have a deal with Showtime, with Eddie Hearn? Is it Jake Paul specifically? We could be missing something here. I don't know what it would be. There's only so many options in the sport. But to have an option that you believe is better, lucrative, is it just about the money? That's what we've always assumed. To believe that you have something outside of this organization, bigger than a fight within this organization against Conor McGregor. What's Nate got? What is it that we don't know?